Okay, make sure that you take really good care of yourself because you can make a lot of money, but if your body is not doing too well, are you gonna have time to spend the money? No. So I am actually an extremist. I didn't take my vitamins for 3 months. I wanted to see how's my blood work. I thought maybe I am stronger than my vitamins, and I test up my health, and I was at 75% optimal at that moment, and I was 60% now. So today I actually pop in like 20 vitamin supplement. And this morning I was getting really dizzy. So don't do that too, right? And I was like, oh man, what happened, right? Do I call my doctor or what do I do? Guess what do I do to figure it out? I took a picture of the label. I sent it into ChatGPT as a health professional. Let me know what should I take, what should I not take, and then obviously then my healthcare doctor, right, ChatGPT tell me, hey, I think all these medicine you should take that in batches because some of them have really strong caffeine, and most likely that's the reason why you are dizzy, and you must eat some food so that the vitamins can work with the food and not in the empty stomach. So what am I trying to tell you here too is when you have doubt, go to AI. When you have doubt in whatever it is, go to AI. And I will be sharing with you my one thing that I learned, from AI and transcription that I'm going to be, when you come back, I'll be sharing with you how to utilize it. And I think that is the reason, that is something that you can really make yourself even better than what you already have. I remember once upon a time, I also taught everybody, right? And I have to reteach you is use emoji. Okay, use emoji. I never one day do not use emoji when I come out with a sentence, right? Because when you have an emoji, whether it's a smiling face or a sad face, your client can immediately feel it. If not, they will have to replace that emoji with their current state that they're in. So if they're angry, when they read your message, they might feel like you're coming on from an angry state. If you're happy, then always put an emoji, smile emoji. Maybe you're nervous, then you can put a nervous emoji on there. So then they'll know, oh, okay, she's a little nervous about it, right? So everybody type in something in below, right? And put an emoji on there. So in that way you can see it, like just like what Blasi just did, right? I'm also scared they might break my spine. I know. Actually, it's pretty crazy. Like they just, a lot of cracking sound. But you can see right there, you guys, some of you guys have the emoji with, with the drop of the, on your emoji. The other one is like, true drop on your eye, right? So you can really feel one is like, it's like, yeah, I am nervous too. The other one's laughing at, oh, this is really funny, right? So again, emoji makes a whole lot of difference when you're communicating with your clients, especially if things are tough, right? You wanted to add a little bit of emoji in there so that they kind of know what is your state of mind. I love that trust is actually a really big thing. And I wanted to share with you guys a couple things that you can do to earn trust. Are you guys ready for it? Okay.
Plus,
I want you to type it down, right? The number one thing that you wanted to start doing is saying the word trust me. Boss, trust me, I can get this done. Boss, trust me, I can make that work. Boss, trust me, I will learn this. Boss, can you trust me with this? Let me prove to you that I can do that. Just by saying the word trust me, you ultimately gave them the trust. Okay, so that's number one. The second way of doing it is see how you can give out promises. Give out promises. Okay, so what you do is you can say, hey, I am going to meet you today at 3 o'clock, right? And then you show up, how long? 15 minutes ahead of time, right? Hop on the call, right? Make sure the computer, everything's good, right? You could do whatever, and then they come back. What do you say? As promised, okay, everybody type it down. As promised, right? As promised, I'm here at 3 o'clock. As promised, I am here. I did this thing. As promised, right? I told you I'm going to figure this out, and I did figure it out. So the second word that you wanted to use is as promised. If you're consistently doing these two things by trust me, as promised, right? You almost is like reiterating the thought on, hey, you can trust me, right? Those two, just by those two, right? 4 letters, 4 words, right? It really help build a lot of trust. If not, again, you can also ask ChatGPT, hey, Chat, I would like to build trust with my clients, right? What are some of the things that I can say, right? Or what are some of the story that I can do? So like for me, I don't know whether you guys know or not, right? But for me, I used to sell Bibles door to door, right? I cannot trust anybody else but myself. And what I did is, even though I got into 7 car accident, I finished my summer because my commitment is I am a finisher, right? If I commit to it, I will make it work. What am I telling you, boss? Even though I got into 7 car accident, I still finished. So whatever you give it to me, no matter how much time I fail, I will fulfill and I will overcome. I will complete it just like what I did with my summer school. How are you feeling at this moment? Am I right? There must be certain things that you have done in your life that you can prove to people, right? And sometimes maybe take a quick 5 minutes and write down, why people should trust me. What are some of the story that I can share, right? Maybe you are the breadwinner, right? You are the one that take care of the whole family household, right? You are the one that, took care of your mom's bank account, right? Hey, I took care of my mom's bank account. My mom always made sure that I got all the money intact. That's why you can trust me too, right? So whatever that is, think about it and then write it down. And then when you are working with your client, communicate that out to other people. Okay. So that is that. Today, what I really wanted to share with you, right? There's two things I want to share, but I'm gonna because I don't know whether we have enough time. But what I really wanted to share, this one big thing is I want everybody to implement this. How many of you guys have Fathom right now? Okay. If you do not have your Fathom installed, I need you to get that installed. Okay. And every single call that you have with your client should be recorded, whether you're using Fathom or not. I just personally like Fathom because as soon as you go on to a Zoom room, it will pop in, right? So let me share with some of you guys if you have not really used it before. And so what you do is, if let's say I'm going to my training room, right? So I'm going to go to my virtual room. I just pop the link on the top. It will automatically get me to get into it. And what it is that it will immediately bring you in, it will immediately pop the Fathom app to go inside with you. So there's no excuses for you to not forget to record the call, right? And after it is done, right? Like for example, this one, I immediately will get the recording of the video. And then I also will be able to get the transcription. And then what we did, right, is we copied the transcription, okay? And then either you can immediately pop it into ChatGPT, okay? Either you can immediately pop it into ChatGPT, or you can, put it into a Google Doc, right, to copy it. So for example, like this one that I just did, right? Let's see. So for example, this one that I just did with Todd Hartley, I just say, okay, here is my communication, right, with Todd. Let me know what I have promised and what I need to do for Todd. And then you will immediately analyze the whole thing. And then you will say, okay, key promises, 6 VA and pre-training, right? We will source 6 VAs, right? Pre-trained, and tested with using VA AI, right? The pricing structure, right? The schedule timeline. So this is all really, really awesome, right? On, what we need to get done, action items. You see that? Additional notes. I recently have coached another client, and the client said, man, I talked to my VA 3 times on the same thing, and my VA is not getting it. I was like, I understand because it's overwhelming. At the very beginning, when, because they teach you what you already know, right? And, but how should I say this? But it's not something that so it's actually harder for you to learn. Right. So what we also did now with our company is that we will also do this. Every single call moving forward, it will be copy and paste into a transcription. So this actually should be called like Phyllis transcripts. Okay. So for you, I know Blessy, you work with Jason, right? Everybody, you should have a transcription. So every time you get on a call with your client, you do Fathom and you copy and you paste it in here, right? So there's a date and the copy. And then what you do is every day, right? Or every time you finish your conversation with your VA, with your client, you paste a transcription in there. And then what you do is on here, right? You can just PDF it. Okay, so I just PDF the document. Did I? Okay, there you go. We got that. Right. And then what I would do is I will go into, my ChatGPT, right? And I'm uploading that file. So it could be as thick as 300 pages. Okay, by the way. right? So then I would say, tell me who is Phyllis and how should I work with her? And again, if you are working on something where it's like maybe a travel, maybe is kind of like a SOP, then you can create this and let it, and then again ask the transcription. I know I've shared that with you previously about sales and clients. I strongly suggest that you use this, right? You use this, like you talk about my grid, right? You talk about my scale, my final notes. What are some of the guidelines for the company that she has mentioned? Right? And you can see right here, it's really coming out with it, right? Or sometimes we can even ask like, list out all the quotes that Phyllis has brought out. Or what are some of Phyllis's concerns? Can you share with me and the potential solution? Right? So here you can see, right, concern of our low quality VA hires, right? A solution is implementing a VA report card, right? Lack of ownership and accountability, right? Concern of, VA not asking questions using support system, a concern of lack of time tracking efficient data, right? So again, you can re-ask all these things from chat and get chat to be your best EA that you are looking for. Okay. And I would like all of you guys, okay, this is actually a rule, right? When we are doing the new onboarding, this is one thing that we're going to be training everybody to do. And we're going to get them to fill out a form, right? Which is download Fathom every single call. Try your very best to be on Zoom, right? So that the Fathom can report it. If not, you will like record your screen, right? And then after that, you get the transcription, pop it into a document. So now, quote unquote, you have like a Phyllis Bible, right? You have a Jason Bible. You have somebody else's Bible, somebody, as a Bible. So in that way, it's easier for you to ask questions. And then if they are frustrated, right? Again, we can ask about these questions, right? Uh, you know, why is Phyllis frustrated? What should I ask or understand from Phyllis to remove her frustration? Right? So again, this is exactly what she said, right? Oh, because we're behind from our target, our some of the VAs are low, low quality, high turnover, right? Like a leadership, how can we support them even more? And you can see all these things, right? And then you can say, okay, what should I ask or understand from Phyllis to remove her frustration? And again, it literally like lets you know, right? Even this one, right? Question to ask Phyllis, what does a qualified VA looks like to you, right? You can even ask them, hey, what is what makes me, a qualified VA to work with you, right? How does that look like? How do you define success, right? What's the outcome that you expect from 14, 30, 90 days from me, right? What is the system that you're willing to let go so that, if others are, can own it? You can literally let ask any question you want. And the most important thing is it's free. It is free, guys. It is free for you to utilize it. So please, 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 please use it. Okay, I can't say it enough. One thing that I realized is I went to Tony Robbins and I studied this thing 7 times. The seventh time, then I realized. So I realized that I need to tell you again, 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 and again to again make sure that every single call that you have with your client is recorded, transcribe it, put it into a Google Doc, and then PDF it as almost like a book so that you can ask it all kind of question that you want. Almost as like, and then, one thing that you can do too is same thing, right? We can go back here and say, um, now, learn who is Phyllis, act as Phyllis, and have a conversation with me. There you go. Did you see that? And then you can literally have a conversation with your client right now. And then you will be able to, like, again, especially with some of you guys that is like, oh, I'm kind of like a little nervous. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know, like, I'm shy, right? I don't know what language to ask. Again, you can actually practice it with ChatGPT first. And if you want to have a direct conversation, you can actually turn on the voice with chat and then have a call. And again, sometimes you can maybe exercising, you're walking right on the street and say, hey, can you act like a Phyllis, right? And let me have a conversation with you. What kind of dialogue should I have? What kind of question should I have? What else can I do for you? Right? It does work with Google Meet. You just have to download the Google extension. Okay, you just have to download extension. And how do you do that? Ask ChatGPT. Okay, let me show you that too. Okay, some of you guys might not. I learned this thing called imagination. You might not have imagination. Okay, how do I use Fathom to record Google Meet? There you go. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Like literally make sure, right? You just ask ChatGPT or anything, any AI software that you like at any given time. They will give you the answer. ChatGPT, I love ChatGPT the most, right? ChatGPT now is the new Google. Google also have Google Gemini, Facebook have Meta, I think Meta AI, right? So everybody has it. And again, it is free, so please utilize it. Okay. So with that said, I wanted to send you into another breakout room to practice with each other. What did you hear just now? Okay. What did you hear just now? And I love what my son just said. My son say, "Mommy, reminder, ChatGPT sometimes is wrong." You are absolutely right. Sometimes ChatGPT is wrong. It's actually funny because we actually have an assessment for all our team member to do a video, right? And then we get them to rank all the team player from A to C, right? A player, B player, C player. And they caught about this person. Oh, this person is a C player. And I was like, no, based on what we understand, this person is an A player. So then ChatGPT go through the transcription. Oh yeah, I now see that why she's an A player. Now she is an A player. I was like, oh, that's very funny. So what does that really mean? ChatGPT is only as good as you are. Okay, then ChatGPT is not always right. ChatGPT is only another sounding board. They will only be right based on what you understand. That's the reason why you will never be fired. Okay, you will never be fired. Please use ChatGPT because instead of you thinking for an hour of what the answer is, ChatGPT will give you 5 minutes to give you all this answer, and then you can think, okay, I like that one, I don't like this one. I like that one, I don't like this one. This is right, that is wrong. Okay. ChatGPT is also a people pleaser, FYI, FYI, FYI. Because whatever you tell it to it, he will try to please you and find you the right answer. If not, he's like, yeah, I don't think so, or I think so, right? So just how good ChatGPT is how good you are with filtering the answer. And I love what Cam said. They get to hang out with other people. If you wanted to start changing your language about, and change your mindset, right? One thing that we have learned about it is transformation of vocabulary. When you use the word they get to, instead of they need to, they must, the phrases actually change a lot. So you want to start using the word I get to because that is voluntarily, you want to do it, your body like it, everything likes it. So what I wanted to really share with you is state story strategy. Okay, state story strategy. What am I sharing with you on this? A lot of time you will feel overwhelmed. Okay, you'll feel overwhelmed. State story strategy. A lot of time we might be thinking, oh man, I need to have the right strategy, but I wanted to remind you again and again and again. You wanted to make sure that you have the right state first before you come up with the strategy. Okay, before you come up with the strategy. So, why am I saying that to you? Actually, this is something that Monique wanted me to share with all of you guys because last week she has a virtual assistant come through and say, "Man, my boss is so mean, right? I don't like her. Can I resign and can you find me another client?" Unfortunately, at that moment, Monique was a little busy, so she did not respond to the VA. So the VA finished work, go do what she normally do, maybe daily work, eat, sleep, rest a little bit, and then she come back the next day and say, "Well, Monique, thank you so much for not responding to me. After I thought through the whole incident, probably my boss is just a little bit stressed. That's why she reacted the way she reacted. But at that moment, my energy was kind of low, and thus I felt like she doesn't really care about me. So, what is that really telling me and her? And she's like, "Hey, please share this with everybody." Is that when you are low, right? When your energy is kind of low, when you are kind of sick, right? When you are stressed, right? The very first thing you want to do is get your state straight. Go do a walk, do a Superman pose, right? Breathe deeper. The deeper that you breathe, the better you're going to get. Go do some exercise, right? Get your state back. Then think about the same incident that is bothering you. You'll be really surprised that the decisions or the story that you have tell has actually changed. Okay, has actually changed. So, it's always about how do you feel? What is the story that you're telling? What's the meaning that you're giving it to? Right? Then you think about the strategy that you wanted to give. Again, where your focus go, your energy flow, right? If you think that it's right or if you think that it's wrong, you are both right. So what I usually do is I always will check myself. Okay, it's my state right now. Am I happy? Am I sad? If I'm sad, I'm not going to make any decision until when I'm happy, then I will make the decision. Okay, because when I'm sad, every decision I make is always going to be sad. Okay, but if I am happy, then chances is the decision that I'm gonna do is much more optimal, and the reaction I have is less personal. And again, if I'm using transformation vocabulary for myself, right, and say it's really not that bad, or it is actually pretty good, right? There's a gift in this reason, right? If I keep getting the same lesson, it's because I haven't really learned it yet, so I have to do it, right? Hey, if I fail, I am a learner, right? In order for you to get really good at something, is you have to learn. When you think about the word loser, that means that you have stopped wanting to try anymore. But you will never lose if you continuously learning. Okay, you're continuously learning. This is what I pre-frame my kids all the time, right? My Alexander is usually pretty good. My Troy, a lot of time when he mess it up, he's just like, "Oh, mommy, I'm a loser," right? I was like, "No, no, no, you're not the loser, right? You're just learning." Because how is a kid gonna learn how to hold a bowl in the right way, right? They have to learn how to hold it. And he broke a bowl today. We're not gonna tell the family about it, but he broke a bowl today. He's, "Oh my God, mommy, it's all right. My wound is ended." I'm like, "Dude, it's just a bowl, right? Dude, it's just a bowl. We're gonna fix it, right? And you just learn how to do it the wrong way. So moving forward, you're gonna do it the right way." Right. So all of you guys, most of you guys started, most of you guys are still in the learning process. The truth is, you will never stop learning. You'll never stop failing until you are in the cemetery. You're in the cemetery. Okay. Newsflash. So, just again, I would say like give each other high five, right? "Man, I failed today, and this is what I learned," right? "Hey, man, I failed today. This is what I learned." "Hey, man, I failed today. This is what I learned." And that is what I am training my children to do. Because again, if they don't fail, what does that also tell you? That means that they're not trying something new. The only time that you do not fail is because you consistently doing the exact same thing over and over again, and you're not testing out anything new. And in this world, if you're not learning something new, if you're not testing new things out, that also means that you might get laid off. You might get fired. Why? Because you are staying here. Your client is going to consistently improving. The technology is going to consistently improving. There's no way that you will be able to sustain if you're not continuously learning. And if you're learning, you most likely will fail. So right now, I celebrate every single day that I fail, right? I celebrate that my kids fail consistently all the time. And why am I saying this? Because the more that they are failing, the more that they are learning, the faster that they fail, the faster that they learn. So what does that mean? The faster they get to success. Okay, the faster that they get to success, the faster that they become who they become. Why am I where I am today? Because I fail faster, I learn faster, and then I succeed faster. And the truth is, I just do that more than most people. I'm addicted to failing so that I can succeed.